Yo, what's up, buddy? So we're here today on another video, and today I'm gonna show you Aputure 1. Okay, I mentioned this on my previous video. If you haven't checked the previous video, check it out. I was teaching you how to do high-end photography and what you need to be able to create amazing product photography. But today I'm just gonna talk about this piece of software that I mentioned a few times during the video. Aputure 1, it's basically, for you to understand it, it's Lightroom on a steroid. That's the best way to describe it. This software is a beast, an absolute beast. You can do so much more that you can do in Lightroom, and on top of that, has a better interface. It's faster. It's just way better in every single aspect. And I don't understand why people keep using Lightroom. Well, yes, I do understand. Everybody buys Lightroom because it comes for free with Photoshop, and everybody wants Photoshop because Photoshop is the shit. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm just gonna jump right into it, and I'm just gonna show you how the software looks, how it works, all the basic tabs, all the panels. I'm gonna show you all of this, and yeah, let's go. Let's roll it. All right, so now inside Aputure 1. So the first thing that you're gonna have to do is probably import some pictures. You're gonna come into your folders, click here, and you're gonna import whatever you need. Okay, once that you have it, you're gonna have your panels more or less looking the way mine are looking. On the right side, you have all your images that you've just imported from the folder that you've selected. So that's amazing. Absolutely awesome, because you can have this all the time, all the freaking time, and it's not down here and it's not a mess. It's very nicely organized. You have different views. You can organize it just by list, or you can see it in a single image, or you can see several images. I like to have it here, and you can even expand this and make it bigger or make it smaller. So this is one of the panels, really important one. Then you have a picture that you currently selected, which is this one. So if you select a different picture, obviously that changes in the main panel, and this is where you're going to be able to see all your adjustments and everything that you're doing to your picture. Then you have the top bar, the top panel over here. This panel, whenever you learn your shortcuts, you're never gonna use it. I can 100% assure you that. There's shortcuts for all these options, so you don't really need to use this. You have your zoom, you have your hand, you have also your cropping, that you can crop stuff here around. You have your selection tool. You can do things that in Lightroom you can't, the spot remove. So let's say that there is something that I don't like here, like this, and I want it gone. Instead of opening Photoshop, I can just do it here. It's so useful. It's really useful. It really saves a lot of time, because sometimes you just don't need full retouching. You just need like one spot in a model that has like a little pimple, like this one over here. It's terrible, I know. But maybe you have one of those and you just need to remove one. Click on the O shortcut and click on it, and it's gone. It's very nice. And not only that, you can also, there is different adjustments for this, and you can also use it for dust. So that's pretty good as well. Those are the toolbars, the main navigation bar, basically where you're gonna have your image, all your gallery, and then you have the other panel. This panel is the panel where you have absolutely everything inside the program. In the little folder, all your images, all your library, basically. You're gonna have your collections as well, that you can add like pictures into your collection in order to make it look good and have like everything more organized. I barely use it, but I do use it sometimes. I like to organize everything in folders, because then it's also organized inside of my computers. Then the next thing that you're gonna have here is your tethering tab. This tab is absolutely great. It's awesome and I love it, and it has way more support, like way more support than Lightroom. You can plug in any camera, it will recognize it. It's amazing. It's insane. You can also select your location for your tether. You can select the ICC profile if you want to change something on your ICC profile. I'll talk to you more about ICC profiles in the future though. Next up that we have, it's basically everything that has to do with your composition. So your cropping, you need to rotate an image, give perspective to your image, everything is here. Keystone is basically perspective, by the way. But you can just change your perspective of your image. You can just put it more vertical, or whatever you want to do. I don't know. you might feel creative. You can also click on these ones and change. You've also used probably this on Lightroom at some point. So you can just change this and change the perspective of your photo. The next thing that you're gonna have is your color tab. This is the best tab in my opinion. 100% the best tab. And the reason being is because you have this part over here that is called color editor, and you have the advanced tab. First of all, you can change your ICC profile. You can choose from any camera in the world. Like, I don't know if these are all the cameras in the world, but there is a lot of cameras here, and you can choose specific ICC profiles for them. So if you have a complaint with Sony colors, because they are not Canon colors, because you love Canon, you can come here and select Canon colors from any specific camera that you might be willing to copy them. Stop complaining, shoot in RAW, and edit everything yourself because you don't need to complain. We're gonna go into a color editor, and you have the basic tab. It's basically what you would expect from the HSL tab in Lightroom. You have your colors here. It's a bit more custom in my opinion, because you can come here, you can click on the 3 dots, and you can adjust the spread of the color, which I think on Lightroom you can do it now again, but I haven't used Lightroom in a long time. The other thing that is super amazing that I love is the advanced color tab. You can apply changes to a specific color in an image. So I'm not gonna use this image because I only have one color. Let's choose this one, which I have 2 different colors, and let's reset it so that we can see it. So we can select here 2 different colors and adjust the spread of these colors to how much does it spread inside the image. Maybe I want it to spread a little bit more, so I'm gonna cast a bit more of the shadow, or a little bit less because I don't want anything of the shadow. And you can change the specific color range that you're affecting in order to manipulate your colors in the best way and create like unique images. It's a very cool tool, very powerful, absolutely a beast. As I said, this is Lightroom on steroids, and this is probably the best tool of all of them. Then you also have here your skin tone. Your skin tone is very useful, it's very cool. You can select your skin, and then you can change the hue, you can adapt it to something that looks more appealing to your eye, you can change the saturation. It's specifically for skins, and the reason why is because it's the uniformity tab. The uniformity tab allows you to create in this spectrum, in this color, they will try to make everything uniform to the color that you selected in the center. So that's a pretty cool tool, definitely very useful. You'll be using it all the time whenever you get used to it. Like it's really nice. Then you have the black and white, normalized, whatever. Like all the rest of the tools, I don't use it that often. Then you can come here, the next tab is your exposure tab. You can here show all your exposure settings, shadows, highlights, exposure, contrast, I don't know, absolutely everything that you used to see. Very cool, your curves as well, levels. By the way, you also have here all your layers, so they are easy to access, not like in Lightroom, which I find it that they are very annoying to access. You can just select your shortcuts and create masks if you want. Definitely something to check out, and definitely something that you are gonna be willing to use often. Then next tab, it's the details tab. This tab, very useful as well, especially for me for grain. I like to add grain to some pictures. So you have different types of grain, and you can adjust the granularity, the impact, you know, kind of cool. And then the last 2. So on the last one, you have all your metadata. So basically everything that is associated with your picture, like the camera that you're taking from, who's taking the picture. You can also add this. This is very useful, especially shooting with companies, because with companies, you're gonna need to add like things like the address, where has it been shot, who's taking the shot, the name of the company, so that they know they are the actual owners of the image, like they own the copyright. Yeah, very useful tab, especially for companies. And then the other tab that we have here is the styles and presets. The reason why I left this one for the last one, it's because styles and presets are very different from what it is in Lightroom. In Lightroom, a preset is basically like all the settings that you're changing. So you can add to a preset your color balance, you can add your exposure settings, you can add your colors, you can add everything that you need. Here, that is called a style. What is a preset here? It's the specific setting that you want to change. So let's say that in an image, instead of changing everything that is here, like the clarity, the high dynamics range, and the exposure, I just want to change the high dynamic range. So I can create a preset that allows me to save these specific settings that I might have set here. So let's say that I put these settings, just to put something, and then I can just save a custom preset, and I can save all the specific things that I want inside that preset and just apply that to all my images without having to alter the colors, or without having to alter the rest of the exposure settings, or the clarity, or the curves, or anything particular. It's very useful, very powerful, very cool. You also have this little reset button all the time, and if you want to copy settings from one image to another one, you can just select one image, go to the other one, and you can copy everything. You can come here, even the crop. Let's say that I want this crop, come here, I click on crop, and this extension thing, you click it, and boom, it applies the crop. And yeah, that would be pretty much it. I think I covered everything I need to cover for the basics. So if you're wondering how much does this software cost, you have several options. I think you have a monthly and a yearly subscription, and you also have the standalone version of the software, which means that if you don't want to have to pay month to month, and you want to own a copy of the software for life, as you used to be able to do with Adobe back when it was CS5, CX6, you can do it. You can do it with the software that is built in 2021 or 2022. If you have any questions, anything that you'd like to ask, everything that I haven't covered, that you feel, oh dude, I want to know more about this, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, do the usual stuff for YouTube, just like, subscribe, and hit the like button and all this shit. And I'll see you on the next one. Woo!